You're watching Dwayne AI.
And now it is my honor to swear in your new mayor.
In New York City, Zohran Mamdani took the oath of office as mayor, not on the Bible, but on the Quran, a first in the city's history, his hand steady, marking a moment where power widened its language. New York subway ends its MetroCard era and switches fully to tap-and-go fares. In Washington, the Department of Justice began reviewing more than 5.2 million documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, a volume so vast it resists summary, a reminder that when truth finally surfaces, it often arrives unfinished. As 33 million viewers worldwide tuned in to the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua boxing event on Netflix.
At the moment, not that much is going to happen. And it almost, there's a left hook. Down goes Paul!
The boxing world was reminded that triumph and tragedy sometimes pair together, as Joshua survived a fatal car crash in Nigeria that claimed 2 of his closest teammates. Victory and loss arriving in the same week. But life must go on. In culture and commerce, Beyoncé crossed the billionaire threshold. Her catalog no longer just music, but infrastructure.
I hope that you know that once I loved you. I wish that I known you let me wonder. I hope that God knows that I'm in need right about now.
In Nigeria, a coordinated operation against suspected ISIS-linked militants in the Northwest, conducted with U.S. support, included targeted airstrikes against designated positions.
This missile, at least in this remote rural area, apparently killed no one.
There was no loss of life and no loss of property.
A U.S. military official tells PBS NewsHour a ship off Nigeria's coast fired more than a dozen Tomahawks at 2 ISIS training camps. Local security analysts say the missiles hit in at least 4 locations, all in Nigeria's northwest Sokoto state. The area has been plagued by a group known as Lakurawa that claims affiliation with ISIS Sahel and exploits poor local governance and access to terrorist groups that operate in Niger and Mali. Nigeria declared them a terrorist organization, but locals say they're connected to bandits and criminals who've intimidated local residents, most of whom are Muslim, preaching radicalization, kidnapping hundreds of girls and young boys in an attempt to control and exploit the population.
This is what we've always been hoping for, to work with the Americans.
Today, Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Tugar told Channels TV that Nigeria provided the U.S. intelligence.
It is a joint operation, and it is not targeting any religion.
But last night, President Trump wrote that the targets were, quote, ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who've been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries.
Back in the United States, systems moved without ceremony. Former black cadets filed suit against American Airlines, alleging a pilot training program that promised access and acceleration, but delivered debt, stalled progress, and exclusion. SNAP rules tightened across states. Restrictions on junk food purchases followed. A shift officials framed as a public health measure, aimed at improving nutrition within the existing SNAP program.
It's about nutrition, and there's no nutrition in these products. We shouldn't be paying for them with taxpayer money.
The move is part of the government's Make America Healthy Again initiative, designed to reduce obesity and chronic diseases like diabetes.
In tech, Reports showed tens of thousands of jobs lost amid AI restructuring, machines advancing as workers recalculated. And in response, 100 Black Men of America partnered with the National Hope Initiative, pushing AI literacy forward.
Our kids are exposed to a variety of images every day. The 100 Black Men of America are devoted to making sure that those images are positive. Just remember, what they see is what they'll be.
The contours of culture revealed their own tensions. At the Kennedy Center, controversy over its renaming led performers to withdraw. Stages meant for applause went dark instead.
So I'm just gonna let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say to Mr. Newsom.
Dear Newscum, we don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to. Please tread lightly. That's what I would say to Gavi Poo.
Nicki Minaj stood inside a storm, her defiance interpreted as defiance against convention itself. The weight of public opinion measured in every amplified headline. Petitions calling for her deportation climbed past 100,000 signatures, a testament to how quickly things can change. Then the lens widened. In Britain, Idris Elba knelt before the crown, knighted for art, service, and global influence. His name now preceded by Sir, his journey now affirmed by empire.
It has been a year where, in truth, there's been some amazing milestones. We've seen some things happen, and that's great, but there's also been a small rise in knife crime at the same time, okay? And compared to the year before, that rise in knife crime might be less than the year before, but there was still a rise. So we can't take our foot off the pedal.
Two Black figures side by side, one vilified, one sanctified. Same visibility, different outcomes. Power decides. Actor Tyler Perry faced new allegations of sexual assault claims, challenging a legacy built on ownership, faith, and narrative control.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
In Minneapolis, a federal investigation opened into fraud tied to a pandemic-era food program, alleging the misuse of millions in public funds, trust tested where oversight already ran thin.
When we request reparations, it's almost like they see it as we're asking for charity. Well, charity is a nuisance. When you think about reparations for Jews after the Holocaust, they awarded it, they said they were obligated to do so. When they talk about the Japanese who were in the Japanese internment camps during World War II, they gave them reparations and they said it was an obligation to do so. And then even the Native Americans, when they gave them the casinos, they said that was an obligation to repair the harm. But who they have never given reparations to in the United States of America is the descendants of Africa.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump was named Newsmaker of the Year, his recognition arriving alongside a $770 million settlement, one of the largest in U.S. history, one on behalf of families who refused quiet endings.
In the next 50 years, Africa will be the center of the universe in every way.
New at 10, San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie facing both praise and pushback after signing a measure to create a reparations fund for the city's black residents. Notably, the fund does not include any taxpayer money for direct payouts.
Mayor Daniel Lurie signed an ordinance establishing a reparations fund for black residents who can show they experienced a proven harm in San Francisco.
This is an ordinance to amend the administrative code to establish the reparations fund.
The Board of Supervisors passed the measure unanimously before Lurie quietly signed it into law last week without a press release or social media announcement.
I would argue that the city is accountable for not just investing in this fund, but for supporting in all the ways possible the recommendations of our plan, including financial repair. It is a step in the right direction.
Eric McDonald previously chaired the African American Reparations Advisory Committee, which spent 3 years researching and developing the city's plan to address historical harms against black residents. The committee released a more than 400-page report in 2023 with more than 100 recommendations, including a proposal for a one-time lump sum payment of $5 million to each eligible person.
I'm making this up. But if I can demonstrate that in 1972, the property that my family owned was taken by eminent domain, and I am therefore due repair for that, then I'd be eligible.
Mayor Lurie says the fund is open to private donations, and if that money becomes available, the city will ensure it gets to those who qualify.
When I learned that he signed this, there was just disillusionment, disappointment.
Conservative columnist and political commentator Richie Greenberg fears the fund would create a costly new layer of bureaucracy and invite legal challenges.
Brave Conquers Fear is about overcoming adversity and never giving up, and that is Nat. Natalya Manhertz has survived what most don't. When strep throat became a rare blood infection, her nurses knew the fight to keep Nat's spirits up was as important as every effort to save her physical life. About 8 months after surgeons amputated her hands and legs, Nat was much stronger, feeling hopeful, even having fun. Going to prom was something none of them thought was possible.
The news did not arrive in tidy packages this week. It came fractured, layered, complicated. Truth weaved through tension, ambition, grief, and celebration. Individually fragmented, but collectively revealing. This is Dwayne A.I.,